Welcome to another segment of Coffee with the Sheriff. I'm your Sheriff, Danny H. Rogers of the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. Today, our special guest is Major Fred Leonard Fred Antonelli. Which one is it?
It's Leonard Frederick.
Leonard Frederick Antonelli. I call him Freddie. He's real talk. I love him dearly. Freddie is here today to help us to talk about some reflection of law enforcement from when it was to where we're at today, to maybe even what do you think is going to look like in the near future. So, hey.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Man, thank you for taking the invite. I'm going to see if it'll come, because I know you don't like to be in front of the camera.
No, I'm not a fan of being in front of the camera, but it's always good to sit down and talk to you. So.
But you bring a lot of knowledge. You bring a ton of knowledge, and you know that because I sit there and listen to you.
Well, you do say that all the time, and I do appreciate that. I have been around a while, so you just learn things from being here
yes, sir.
For so many years. So.
Yes, sir. So tell me a little bit about your career, or tell us all about your career.
Sure. So I started in law enforcement in 1994, so I've been here 31 years. My career started, I really had no desire, I don't want to say desire, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I was in college.
You was at what age, though?
What age was I? In college or just before? So I started college pretty young, but I was in college. This was my early 20s.
There you go. Most of us didn't know what we wanted to do.
No, I had no clue. So I was a little bit lost. I was sitting there. I was about to graduate from school. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I had taken basically one class in college. It was a sociology class, but it was basically a criminal justice type class. It kind of sparked my interest. And then my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, she heard that you could do a ride-along with the Greensboro Police Department. She said, hey, what do you think about doing a ride-along? And I said, sure, that sounds like fun. So we did a ride-along, and once I did that, I was kind of hooked. And I said, well, that's something I definitely think I'd like to try to do. And so that's when I started my journey of trying to get into the career, the profession.
I believe, for what I've seen and heard, everything has been a positive road for you here. You've been good. The people enjoy you. It don't matter who we're at, where we go, as always. But being in the upper food chain now, up the food chain ladder, you get a chance to see and hear and watch some things. What do you see different now that you see now that you would not have ever known? And it was you didn't even think about it, and then you think, like, wait a minute, I might have done what that deputy did.
Well, you see, I don't even know how to articulate this. I think you see things that you never would have seen otherwise. It's definitely a different world out there that kind of when you grow up, you don't see this side, the other side. So you get to deal with every type of person out there, every type of personality, every walk of life. And you have a lot of life experiences being a law enforcement officer. So you see a lot, and it does give you a different perspective on life.
So you get a chance now to actually deal with the deputies or the command team at a different level.
Yes, sir.
So being in leadership, how's that? How's that for you?
So it's definitely different than being the line officer because you have to look at things differently. When you are just a deputy, you're worried about yourself and what you have to do for that day. So you're really concerned with answering your calls, providing the services you're expected to provide, and you go home at the end of the day. Once you move up, you start gaining more and more responsibilities, and when you get to the level of major, my concern is to try to move the agency in the direction that you want it to go, while trying to provide the best agency we can for the deputies that work here. So you have a ton more responsibility, and you have to look out for more than just yourself. So every decision that you make at this level, not everybody's going to be happy with it, but you have to make the best decision for what's best for the agency as a whole. And then we have to try to, obviously, the direction that you as the boss want us to take it, that's the way we try to move this organization forward.
Well, I think you have done a phenomenal job. I only like using the word think. I know that you have, because I'm only as good as you are, and that's just real talk. I tell people, I said, they'll sit back and they'll say, Sheriff, you're doing a great job over at the Sheriff's Office. I said, hey, I'm surrounded by a great team. I really am. We have a team that is very diversified now. We have a team that's, when I say diversified, I'm not necessarily talking about race. I'm talking about economic status, education status, faith. I'm talking about the mindset of people. I mean, you know, it's diverse.
Yes, and also the diverse backgrounds as far as what they've done in their career.
Yeah.
So you have officers, some who were patrol guys, some who were in bailiff's office, some were legal process. So you have different walks of experience, I would say.
Which is good. I'll be honest with you, Major, I never thought about the fact when the assignment was given to me, you know, because I shared my life with you all. My assignment was given to me, and I truly know and believe it was by God. Not one man ever asked me or said I should run for the seat of Guilford County Sheriff or for the sheriff office of anywhere. But I got a chance to live life. And sometimes the balloon will blow and it'll be just perfect. And sometimes that balloon will get so tight and feel like it's about to burst. And sometimes that balloon will burst or the air will be sucked out of it. So I had a chance to live life learning how to deal and focus and maneuverate, what's the word I'm looking for? Move through it. Yeah, navigate through it, that's it. Navigate through life. The changes of life that I experienced from being a young officer at the age of 22 years old up until I'm 30, and then from 30 up until I'm 54 years old, before I came back, living life. And that was tough sometimes, you know? But the ideal of doing that, would I ever want to do it again? No, I wouldn't. But would I trade it for what I have today? I wouldn't trade it. Because I deal with the people we deal with. It's not necessarily the people on the outside of the doors. It's those that we work with that have to have us and need us, you know? And we need them as well. The mental health piece of life, let's talk about that for a second. It used to be when I started saying earlier, I think I got a lot off track with it, but I would watch the television shows as a little boy, and the truck would drive up. You see it on television. The truck would drive up, cased-in truck. Guys got out the truck and they're in a white suit and they have a straight jacket, and they were good people. And they said, no, don't take me. They take them off and they go off. This television. But it comes to real life. Not necessarily that we use straight jackets. I don't think we do that anymore. We definitely don't do no hog tie and stuff. But we have to use our tools, which is our mind and our mouth, on how to de-escalate and get people to do it. Try to get it done. Just like the other day, we had a guy the other day. I was sitting in here, I heard all this noise and racket, I'm thinking, oh, let me go see what's going on. His energy, my energy tried to match his energy for a second, and then I realized, oh, I got this. Totally different once my energy brought his energy down. And he came back later on and started talking. But those are things that you would have to look at and be wise about things. So what have you seen different over the years?
Well, it's changed. So I would say when we first started, I started in 1994, there was not a lot of emphasis on any mental illness or issues such as that or de-escalation. So that's changed over the years where we're now just more aware. There's been a lot of training for officers on how to deal with people in crisis. I'd say before, officers would just roll up on the scene, and regardless of the situation, it'd be like, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
So, and I think now today they teach you a lot about, hey, this person may be experiencing some type of crisis, and we try to deal with that without compromising officer safety. So officer safety obviously is the number one thing for us. We still keep that in mind, but officers are just better trained how to deal with people who are experiencing some type of crisis. And so a lot of those individuals are high on drugs, but some of them have just legitimate mental illness issues, and that seems to be much more prevalent than when I started in the 90s.
We have now a wellness division with us, Dr. Ellis and Dr. Sobin. How do you look at that? How do you see that? Is that a plus for the team here, or?
Well, I can tell you a lot of people love those services, so I think it is a plus for the team. And I will say so again, and I know you remember this, back in the day when you started, if you experience something, officers see a lot of things that may cause personal issues for them, personal mental health challenges. And back in the day, there was a stigma, you couldn't talk about it. And so you had to keep it inside. So I think those are good services that you provide. I mean, officers have the ability to speak with in-house professionals if they're experiencing anything. You also have peer support teams, which other officers can speak to those officers with similar experiences. So I think that's changed drastically over the years, drastically. So,
you know, your leadership as the major, you have a lot on your shoulders.
Yes, sir.
You know, and we don't intentionally push things your way, but it does intentionally find a way to get to you.
It normally gets to me in some form or fashion, yes.
You know, so we have three majors, you, Major Holder, and Major Beasley. And all three of you have your shoulders, you know, the chief and then myself. You know, we talked about getting rid of the stigma, or the stigma that come with the mental health issues or crises. It took me a minute for people to believe that we're gonna offer this service here for your help, for your good, without it getting outside the doors. But it's working. I mean, I'm very grateful. I see less of this going on and less of that going on. And it comes from the way that you all facilitate the people that come that need things that you suggested they get a chance to talk to the doctors.
I agree. I think it's a great service that you provide. I think it was a very good thing for the agency.
Yeah. Let's talk about officer safety a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Officer safety now is so tactical, high performance now, to where, because the criminal element is so high now. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about the changes that we've seen in the last, let's say 22 years.
There have been a lot of changes with that over the years. I mean, I think, originally when I started, officers were trained with certain types of tactics. Those have evolved over the years. And when I say tactics, that means things to help keep officers safe. Again, our number one goal is to go home at the end of the day. So we, as law enforcement, train and we provide officers with training to try to do it as safe as possible. And that has changed over the years on how we approach situations, just from basic, how you even walk into a house. Those things have changed. And things that have helped officer safety is the evolution of training has gotten better, but also technology has helped us significantly over the years, along with equipment. So when I started, you really weren't given much equipment. You basically were given a patrol car. You had to come to the office and check out a radio. You weren't assigned a handheld radio, so you had to come in and check out a radio. You basically had your gun, and I was issued pepper spray, and that's what you went out there with. Today you have a lot more tools to do the job. You have better equipment, better radios, technology. Information sharing is so much better today. It's quicker, and that helps officers be safe. So, back in the day when you came to the office, you had to physically come to a lineup, and your sergeant would tell you, hey, we're looking for this person, he's wanted, he might be in this area, or the detectives are looking for these guys who are breaking into cars. And that may be a delay in getting that information to officers. But today, with computers and technology, information is shared throughout the agency immediately, and everybody has it in their car on a computer. You also have information from other agencies just quickly, immediately. So that helps with officer safety. And then the tools, we have a lot better tools than we did back then. We have things such as tasers. Tasers help stop someone so you don't have to resort to shooting someone.
Right. Oh, tasers, I like tasers. They're a little different.
They're definitely a little different.
The companies that design them and put them on, they're so expensive.
It's expensive, and that's the tough piece I think that we face, is with the evolution of technology, everything is so much more expensive. Everything is a computer program with a fee and an annual fee. We have body cams, you have to pay for that. You have tasers, you have to pay for that. So it's put a burden on us as far as money.
Yeah. You know, the ride-along program that we have, that I've suspended for a minute, you know, I did it intentionally. Once COVID kicked in, I didn't think about it, and when COVID kicked in, then people were not being truthful about, you know, feeling bad or not. You know, it's not like, nah, we don't need that. We're already short-staffed. But my other concern was the fact that we have such a young organization.
We do. Very young.
Oh, they're so young. And I remember when the older guys would call us young whippersnappers or what would they call it, young bucks. And we would get offended, like, young buck, talking to me like that. 22 years old, 21, we thought we had the world by the horn.
Yeah, we used to look at guys our age as old. So I guess I'm the old guy now. So.
You're not both. When I think about, because I've had people to ask me about the ride-along program. Such a young organization, young drivers out there. And I just, right now, just a little comfortable making sure nobody else is in the car with them. Sure. Because I hear, and I will talk, and I know you heard it, I heard a call last week, the last couple of weeks, I listened to the radio. And I've heard the last 2 or 3 weeks, a call going out, and everybody want to kick it up. Blue light siren. I said, what was the nature of that call? And they come out and said, oh, we can go back to just regular operation, yeah. And I know it irritates them when they hear somebody come on the radio, or the lieutenant, or the watch commander, or the sergeant, or the sheriff come over the video. But it's about their future.
Sure. And you look at it from a different lens, from this age and this, I will say, level of where you're at in the agency. When I was a young deputy, as I'm sure you did, I probably drove way too fast many times. So.
Well, I got clocked one time for driving 53 and 35. And my sergeant pulled me over at the office. Hey, look, when I say pull me over, talked to me at the office. And we fell out about it. And I said, you really, because everybody was speeding. But I learned that I couldn't do it. So it was a learning curve for me, and he taught me what to and what not to and what to look for. One more thing I want to ask, and we're going to ask you your question if we have any questions or suggestions. Now, when we look at the budget, people think you get all this money. Good gracious almighty, do they not?
They do, and it is a big number. But it doesn't seem like it is when you're trying to acquire the resources that we need, because everything is expensive. As what we talked about before, as far as the technology. Every piece of technology, every program is very, very expensive.
Very expensive. There's some tools I like to have for us to have that I believe we need. I know we need.
Yes, sir.
But I just cannot seem to get it cut into the budget where we can get it, but we will. We'll figure the ways. But, making sure that, because you oversee your captains and your lieutenants and the sergeants, and, how's that been with us lately with the making sure that we keep the budget as close as we can, not terribly tearing it up other than mandatory overtime because we're short-staffed?
I think we do a great job with the budget, other than we have, we're short on people, so we have mandatory overtime in place. We have deputies every day, multiple deputies working for overtime in the bailiff's office. We have deputies in detention, or officers in detention that have to work overtime. So that adds up. But as far as our general spending, no, we don't exceed the budget. Yeah. We do a good job with holding the line on that.
Right, I do.
And we try to buy the things that we need and not the things we just want. So,
and we get the best price that we can.
You're very good at that. Every time we come to you, you say, now you can get a little cheaper than that.
We can do a little better than
Yes, sir, and you're normally right on that. You're a great negotiator. So.
I learned that because I'll be somewhere talking to somebody that wanted something in my pocket's just as dry. I'm like, I get up, I'm like, where I'm going to get this here. And they come down to my price and say, well, we accept that. I said, really? Gotta get back with you in a couple of days. But you know, you learn so much. You know, I've learned a lot being here as a sheriff. I've learned to laugh, to love, to continue to pray, to enjoy people, listen to people's heart. You as a major, there's a young individual. What would you tell an individual that say, hey, I would love to be a deputy sheriff? How would you direct them to doing that? What would you tell them?
Well, I would talk to them to make sure that's really what they want to do, because I do think a lot of people try to get into this job and they really don't know what they're getting into.
Sure.
And I think they get here and then they're a little bit surprised as to what all we do. So I would probably have a conversation with them to make sure they understand that this at times is a very dangerous job. I mean, it's very dangerous. It's a great job. It's been a great career, and I've had a lot of fun, but there have been numerous times where you're not sure that you're going to make it home.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing that I would have a conversation with someone. Anybody that says they want to do it, I always try to talk to them about, you know, do you understand what you're getting into?
Because it is different. Yeah. It's different. It's different. The salary, I tell people, you never make the salary that you want to make, that you believe that you deserve, being a frontline individual and on up until you start getting to the upper food chain. That's a little different, you know. But then we are held to be accountable for the whole organization, but the main part is managing it. Yes. And they said, Sheriff, you can't micromanage. I said, I don't. That's why I had you all. You know, I can't micromanage. I don't want to micromanage. I like to know things, but I don't want to micromanage.
Yeah, as the sheriff, you need to know what's going on. Yeah. We try, you know, your majors and your chief try to keep you informed with that. So yeah. Try to do the best we can with that. But you got a lot on your plate. So, and I know that most people don't understand that, but I see it on a daily basis with the number of people calling you. So, and stopping in your office.
You know. We get ready to move into the new building. Mm-hmm. I wish I could take that window right there.
To your favorite window.
My favorite window. I miss nothing out that window. Everything come through there, I get a chance to see.
You get to see what's coming in.
See what's coming.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a change in the new.
Gonna be a big change. I guess I got a real relationship with the fish.
Yeah, that's right. We still have some good windows.
Yeah, we all have the good windows.
It'll be hard to see people coming in and out.
Yeah, coming in and out. But I want to say, you have questions or any suggestions, anything?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Any suggestions?
I don't have any suggestions, no, sir.
You're 31 years counting.
31 years and counting, yes, sir.
Keep on counting. Hey, I enjoyed you being here.
Well, I appreciate you having me. As I've told you before, I thoroughly enjoy the job and appreciate being here.
I can't really take no credit for the first part of it, because I was like, who is Freddie? And said, you love him, Sheriff. You'll love him. I said, okay, so we'll see. But I want to thank you and your wonderful family, beautiful wife, for the support that they give you. Your family, your mom, your dad.
I do. They've been very supportive.
Yeah, your sister, all of you, your nephew, you know. Your nieces?
Nieces, yes.
Yeah. I tell people I know a little bit about everybody. Not everything, but just a little bit about everybody that work here, you know. Because if you don't, then you hadn't done your job. You know, you can't connect. Sure. You know, I was telling somebody the other day, I'm about done. I said, 13 years old coming up, right? They said, yeah, you remember. I said, I've only been here 7 years. I know every day. I get a chance to know, hear, and say. But I thank you very much for your service, your dedication, your loyalty to the community of Guilford County Sheriff's Office, to the citizens and residents of Guilford County Sheriff's Office. You know, I know it's different times now, and especially this week here that we dealt with the Customs Border Patrol and ICE and stuff. It's different, but especially when we don't know as an organization or what's really going on. We have to make sure we keep our focus on our community. Yes, so I thank you. I watched you during this time. I said, okay, I got you, you know.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I enjoy serving the community and the job.
I appreciate you. Hey, this has been another episode with the Coffee with the Sheriff, Sheriff Danny H. Rogers, and the one and only Leonard Fred Antonelli, Major of the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. He is the Major of our Field Operations Division. This has been Sheriff Rogers of the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. Thank you and have a great new year.
Thanks, Sheriff.